4 minutes after the top of the hour, a Fox News alert. The Taliban is claiming that they killed 4 Americans at the Bagram Air Force Base. They were either hit by rockets or mortar as well. The Taliban has claimed responsibility. This is interesting. This happened just hours after it was announced that the United States government, along with Hamid Karzai and the Afghans, are going to start negotiating with the Taliban. The Taliban's opened up a political office in Qatar. Our president says this is the right thing to do because they've laid out conditions to negotiate with these terrorists.
The one thing that we do believe is that any insurgent group, including the Taliban, is going to need to accept an Afghan constitution that renounces ties with al-Qaeda, ends violence, and is committed to protection of women and minorities in the country.
So if they're one cohesive group, if the Taliban is actually a cohesive group that is actually serious about these talks, then this attack is a message that maybe they're not so serious about the talks.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to be negotiating with Qatar, but evidently we're thrilled that they opened up a political office in that country and will be accepting peace negotiations. Here's the thing. A lot of people say, hey, you have to talk and have negotiations. That's fine. But we're in no position to have talks. We've already said when we're leaving, how we're leaving, and what we're doing. So we really have almost no leverage. They know where we're going. If these talks were going to happen, it should have happened 2 years ago, before, when the surge was put into play, before we knew when the exit was. Part of the conditions are to give women rights, to renounce violence and al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda is the easy one. In terms of women, the Taliban are all about denying women rights. Women are whipped in public for not having, not covering up to their ankles. They are whipped and beaten and verbal abused for clothes not in accordance with Taliban rules. They're required to wear long veils and burqas. Ban on women studying in schools, universities, and other educational institutions.
They've got a lot of rules, those Talibans.
Listen to Chairman Mike Rogers of the FBI. He's like, this is ridiculous.
This is an organization, the Taliban, who's closed in Afghanistan over the last few months over 500 children's school. We can't have those kids getting educated. And by the way, the majority of those are girls' schools. The same organization that just a few weeks ago poisoned girls, little girls, going to school to prove the point that they didn't believe that girls should be able to get an education. It's hard to understand why the president thinks that is the right cause of action with no preconditions about what that negotiation should even look like. We're going to negotiate so that we can check the box and go home. I think this could be a stain on our national character if we don't get a handle on this early on.
Just keep in mind, yesterday was the day that Kabul officially took over their national security. We're going to continue to advise and support, and then our guys are coming home next year, as you said, Brian. It looks like tomorrow, the first day of negotiation, what they're going to talk about is a prisoner swap, because they are holding a U.S. soldier, have for a number of years, and they, the Taliban, want us to send those senior Taliban members currently held in Gitmo to Qatar.
Many of which are al-Qaeda.
Let's talk a little bit about the